There is a direct correlation between the penetration in telecommunication services and the economic development of a country, and Dominica is no different. Telecommunications plays a significant part of your everyday life and contributes significantly to the national economy. Over the past decade, the telecommunications sector has seen a vast transformation fueled by rapid technological growth. It is therefore essential to have an effective regulatory framework to provide adequate safeguards that ensures fair competition and protection of consumer interest, to ensure the development of the service sector and to manage scarce resources such as the use of spectrum. The NTRC forms part of the regulatory framework together with ECTEL, the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority. The NTRC is involved in the management of a range of telecommunications matters, such as licenses, regulations, legislations and expertise, number management, with ECTEL providing support. The NTRC is governed by a commission appointed by the Minister for Information, Telecommunications and Constituency Empowerment, and they effectively act as an advisory body to the Minister. The NTRC is also responsible for making sure that providers meet the highest possible technical standards so that your phone or internet service is reliable. It also ensures that your favorite radio stations broadcast within the stipulated frequencies. As a consumer, you have rights and can complain to the NTRC if the service you are getting is below what was promised or unsatisfactory. Every complaint will be investigated and, if merited, corrective actions will be recommended subsequent to seeking redress from the provider. Another major responsibility of the NTRC is the regulation of prices for telecommunication services. At instances where the market is regulated, prices cannot be set by the providers without the approval of the Commission. Persons or organizations interested in offering telecommunication services to the general public must obtain the appropriate licenses. All license applications must go through the NTRC. There are different classes of licenses depending on what services are to be offered. A license is required by organizations that are involved in the establishment of infrastructure and networks to provide an efficient service to the public. Some examples are the telephone companies, internet service providers, radio paging services and submarine cables. Licenses are also given to operators of amateur radio, CB or citizens band radio, and radio communication services used by ships and aircraft. Generally, a frequency is required for all uses of spectrum. For instance, the assignment for this spectrum allows for the establishment of television and radio stations. Special licenses are also granted on a short-term basis, for example, for the transmission of cricket. Persons importing telecommunications equipment and those wishing to provide maintenance, repair services, install office or home will be required to obtain the requisite license. Applications for licenses and other application forms can be found on the NTRC website. It is essential that persons who wish to offer telecommunication services to the general public or for private purposes seeking guidance and the appropriate license from the NTRC. Failure to do so could lead to penalties outlined in the Telecommunications Act. The Telecommunications Act also establishes a fund to be known as the Universal Service Fund. The Universal Service Fund is managed by the Commission and is used to provide universal access to telecommunication and ICT networks and/or services to the public. Universal Service Fund has just provided equipment to the Youth Development Division and the persons living with disabilities in Dominica. The NTRC has successfully coordinated, with collaboration with 3 service providers, the launching of an Internet Exchange Point in Dominica. The Internet Exchange Point IXP not only increases speed for local traffic, but it is a prerequisite to facilitate the growth of the industry in Dominica. The NTRC was established to ensure that the general public gets a quality service at a price that is reasonable to both the consumer and the service provider. Feel free to visit our website or to call our office for additional information. Telecommunications is an integral part of our lives, and the NTRC is the entity that protects your interest.